now we're at kind of a tutorial level. This is not difficult, so what I'm going to do is just fast forward it until we get to an interesting bit. Okay, so what we've just got now is a dagger. So we'll just equip this dagger. Now what daggers do is a lot of critical damage, I think, if we take a look. Yeah, you can see here, it's kind of the arrow that curves around towards the bottom. The axe does 110, but the dagger does 150, which is good for parrying and also backstabbing. But we're not going to be using the dagger in this playthrough, simply because I'm going to try and make this as kind of a strength dex build, and the dagger is pretty much mainly for dex players. So we'll just unequip that, and let's continue. Okay, so before we go any further, there's something interesting here. Oh, I wasted a life gem. Not a problem, we just picked it up. Life gems will slowly increase your life, so we'll just kick this ladder down, and that'll be useful later on to get back up to this. Now, as you can see, there's no prompts to do anything, but if I actually run away, if I come back, it's not going to work. Yeah, there you go. Now that might sound familiar because we have something called a smooth and silky stone. What we're going to do is leave this here. Do not press discard. That will delete the item. You want to leave it here. And we'll just walk away.
Yeah, silky smooth.
And then when you go to pick it up again, you'll see it's a completely different item. And we've got a raw stone. This is actually used for upgrading weapons to raw. We're not going to be doing that because it kind of takes away from the scaling effect of some weapons. But, you know, it's interesting. We have something else to play as well. They'll also take petrified somethings. So if we leave this here...
Silky smooth.
So sometimes they'll leave some really good items. Like that. Petrified dragon bones. So petrified dragon bones are used to upgrade special items. Oh, we don't actually want to go down there yet. We want to jump down here, grab this item. Soul of a nameless soldier. Now this is a soul item. We've got two now. These are very useful because it's basically like carrying souls. You can see in the bottom right how many souls I have. Except if you die, you won't lose these. And you can use these at any time to actually get souls and use them to upgrade your equipment or level up or, you know, whatever you want. So we'll just jump down here and move on to the next tutorial level. Okay, so we just got a cracked red eye orb. What this is used for is to invade other worlds. So this is used for PvP. You can invade another person's world and kill them, which is a bitch to the other player because they'll lose their souls, and if they're a human, which they probably will be, they'll have to use another human effigy to become human again. You can also gain souls that way, and there's also specific covenants in the game which use PvP as a way to level up in the covenants, such as the Covenant of Blood, but we'll see that much later on in the game. Okay, so this is a good opportunity to use our ranged weapon. So we have a bow here. We started with a bow since we're a bandit. Otherwise, if you're a knight or a warrior or deprived or an explorer, you won't be able to do this. You might be able to do it with throwing daggers if you're an explorer, but what we're actually going to do is aim for the head. Take a few shots. Oh, missed the head there. As you can see, you do much more damage if you hit them in the head. Okay, there's that. And that's this little area done. And now we can go through here. So now that we've killed that guy, he won't be shooting at us while we're kicking down this tree and crossing it. Alright, I'll fast forward again. Okay, so... Okay. So what we have here is interesting. We've got one ogre here, and you actually can't see him, but there's another one around that corner there. I wonder if we can get an angle on him. Yep, there you go. So you can't aggro just one of them. If you aggro one, the other one will aggro. And there's actually a coffin over there, and you might think it does something cool. It really doesn't. All it does is change your gender. So if your character's a little gender confused, there you go, for a bit of plastic surgery. Pop in that coffin, you'll come back out a lady if you're a man, or a man if you're a lady, you know. So we won't concern ourselves with that. We might come back to that later if we ever get bored of our penis, but yeah, I think we're almost done with this tutorial. You probably shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, running over the trees while they're falling, because that's a bit careless, but you know, each his own. I think we've actually done all the tutorial. I should probably run back and check. Yeah, we've done that one, that one, that one. Yep. So now, we're about to enter probably the most important area in the game, called Majula. To run through this cave first. And here you can start seeing message boards. So, there's a lot of them. A lot of them are just garbage, really. Like this one up here, illusion ahead. That means there's an it's trying to say there's an illusionary door. If you go up to a wall and you press A, it'll open a secret door, and they're impossible to tell. You really need to use a guide or something to find an illusion wall, because it's so difficult to find it completely by chance. But there are messages like this one that trick you to thinking there is one, but there really isn't. On a slanted wall like this, there won't be. I'll show you as many as I can. I might forget a few though. So, here we go. Enter the light. It looks beautiful. Here we are, Majula. Okay. Again, first thing we're going to do, we can see an item down there. Grab some items. There's one over here. Divine Blessing. I think what that does is remove effects and... Ooh. There you go. Yeah, it cures all status effects and fully restores HP. That'll be very good later on in the game, but right now we'll do with just life gems, and we'll get an Estus Flask in just a second. So we'll run around grabbing some items. Oh. In Dark Souls 2, even if you're going to not use an item, it's always a good idea to grab one. So over here I believe we get the mace? Oh, binoculars. Yeah, that's very useful. That's another. There you go, the Morning Star and the Cleric's Sacred Chime. So Cleric's Sacred Chime, obviously for clerics. I believe you start with a chime of some sort if you start with a cleric build, but I'm not completely sure, I didn't really check. But we've got a Morning Star here, which does a lot of blunt damage. Right now though, it's not as good for physical damage as our hand axe, but it does do bleeding damage, and we don't have strength for it anyway. So we'll be using this later on when we enter a certain area against certain enemies. So this is the blacksmith Ornifex, I believe, and he's locked out of blacksmith.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't Now somebody's gone and locked the door. I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop chop. Bring me...
Alright, so you get the key later on in the game in the Forest of Fallen Giants. It costs 1,000 souls to get. We'll just slide along. While we're here, might as well sleep at it. So as you can see, unlike the first game, you can already teleport between bonfires, which is very useful. But we won't be doing that just yet, because Majula, we don't need to go back to Things and Twigs anytime soon. We might need to when we get a soul vessel, and if we need a certain, certain skill points and a certain skill, but we won't worry about that. Now this is possibly the most important NPC you will meet in the game.
Are you, or merely a pawn of fate, bearer of the curse? I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
So yeah, she gives you your first Estus Flask. Again, unlike the first game, you do not get 5 Estus Flasks at the start.
He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrin.
Okay, so yeah, this is the Emerald Herald. So as I was saying, unlike the first game, you don't get Estus Flasks right at the start. You get 5 from every bonfire in the first game, but here you have to collect Estus Flask shards, bring it to the Emerald Herald, who will then create another Estus Flask for you. And you get, you upgrade the Estus Flasks themselves through Petrified Bone Dust, I believe it is, or is it Sublime Bone Dust? I'm not sure, we'll find some later on anyway, and yeah, it should be good. So I believe this item over here, Soul of the Nameless Shoulder, and a life gem. It's an item over here. A lot of players would miss this on the first playthrough, so I'll show you this now. If you actually just hit that, another item comes up. Hit that, an Estus Flask shard. So we can already get our second Estus Flask, which is very good. We'll be able to enter this house soon. There's some cool stuff in there. We'll get the key to that house when we enter the Forest of Fallen Giants again.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
So yeah, you can get some cool stuff from this guy. He's not really saying anything that interests me too much right now. Not even the elite knight armor. But later.
Well, I do hope I see you again.
Sorry, he's interrupting me. But later on, as you progress through the game, he'll unlock more armors, and he'll sell the armors of NPCs you kill, or is that the old hag? I'm not sure. But yeah, it's all very interesting. He'll give you some cool items later on in the game. Now through here, another interesting character. Another very important character as well. She sells some very important items.
Oh, and one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself.
Yes, she's a cat.
Oh yes, you may call me Shalqua. Enchanté. So, what did you want? Ooh, you smell.
Alright, so here you can abandon covenants, you can see what covenants you've joined in the past. We're just going to take a look at what she's selling. She sells Ring of Whispers, that'll be useful later on. It lets you talk to certain NPCs who usually are just beasts and you can't speak to them. Name Engraved Ring, not too important. That's for connecting to players who chose the same god or the same covenant, I believe. A Red Eye Ring, easier to be detected by enemies. That's if you want to make it more difficult. I don't want that. A silver cat ring. That's very important. We're going to be using
Nothing
that to
suited you, I
enter
presume?
here later on.
Well, that's dismaying.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you what not to do when you first enter this game. You'll come up here, and you'll see this. Let's grab the sign first. Homeward Bone, very useful. That lets us return to the last bonfire we visited. Now this, you do not want to use this. This will increase the game's difficulty without any increase to souls given. Like in New Game Plus, or using a bonfire aesthetic, it will increase difficulty and number of enemies, but it will give you more souls to pay to like make up for it. This will just increase difficulty. It will make the game so unplayable. It's unbelievable. So do not do that unless you've played this game already and want a challenge. So don't go down there yet. That's for later. Back to Morlin. I actually got distracted. I forgot to mention some things. So yeah, Morlin, as you spend more money at his shop, you'll see he actually progresses. Like he starts standing up, then he becomes really snotty. Right now he's really humble. He's kind of pleading with you to buy his wares. Later on he kind of expects you to as you spend money, but that's okay because he does sell some really cool stuff. We want to go up here now. Okay. Can we get some Titanite in here? Yeah, Titanite shard. Very useful. We use Titanite for upgrading our weapons at the blacksmith, but obviously we can't upgrade just yet because Ornithexis is locked out. So, what do? We have that Estus Frost shard, so first of all, let's go to the Emerald Herald.
There. Seek there once you have found, so that hope will... Is that a shop? Here, to see light, however fit.
So yeah, I kind of skipped some dialogue there, but basically you can level up here. Again, unlike the first game, you can't level up at every bonfire. You have to level up at Emerald Herald. But that's okay, because it's really easy to just come back to Majula now with the new transport system with bonfires. So we'll level up first. I'm going to go Strength. We've already got High Dex. Here we go, level up once. And upgrade our Estus Flask. No cool effects there, we just get a new Estus Flask. Okay, we've got 2 now. Very good. Ah, up here. Almost forgot. Checking I haven't missed any items. We'll get back to you in a second, sir.